Okay, growing up, like, have you always been interested in the entertainment industry?
Yeah, yes and no. Like, yes, but like I didn't ever think that I would work in it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I had an interest in it, but I thought, oh, you know, what are the chances of that working out, right? So I just kind of did the whole, like, find normal job. So I wanted to be a firefighter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I actually went to school for firefighting. I graduated. I worked for like a year as a firefighter at like a factory, like General Motors.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the factory that I was working at was closing down, that's when I went back to school for woodworking, because I thought I was good at it in high school and I enjoy doing that stuff. So I'll just do that while I'm waiting for a firefighting job. Mm-hmm. And the entire time all this is happening, I'm like in and out of bands and stuff like that, and doing all, like, I was very much involved in music. And so when the opportunity came up to like audition for the VJ search, I was like, well, the next best thing to being in a band is interviewing bands, right? Yeah. So I was like, I gotta go and do this. And then I went to the mall and auditioned.
So like, say if you hadn't won, like what would you be doing? I guess just still in school, or?
I probably would have just continued pursuing firefighting, but I mean, you know Boomer from Video on Trial?
Oh, yeah.
He's also trying to be a firefighter. It's funny because Boomer and I both made it on a TV before we made it onto a fire department. It's just there's so many people that want to do that. So who knows if I would even have made it by now, but it's a very sought after position.
Okay, after winning the VJ search, could you describe what your first day on the job was like? I guess that was a long time ago.
It was like butterflies in my stomach, in my brain, in my mouth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I was psychotic because I didn't know what to do or where to start. Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, I had never lived in downtown Toronto before. And so I'm in this new apartment that they gave me for my probationary contract, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm in this apartment, and it's like nothing's mine. Like, I feel like I'm completely out of like my comfort zone. I was living in this apartment. Nothing in this apartment is mine except for like the stuff that I brought with me, because it was a furnished apartment. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I had to like just completely like just submerge myself into Toronto and this stuff with no friends, no family with me, and no anything. So I was just really nervous. And then when I went in there, I knew nobody, right? And like, you know, my boss took me up and got me like some supplies for my desk and everything. And then I was like, okay, so what do I do? I'm sitting at my computer, like just not knowing what to do. And I ended up being on MOD that night. Yeah, no, it was just very nerve-wracking, and but exciting too, though. I just, you know, it's like your first day of grade 9, but scarier, you know? It's like you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. It's totally new environment.
Exactly.
Okay, who was your favorite celebrity interview?
I get this question all the time, and I always say, like, man, so hard to answer. And I wish I would just like sit down one day and really think about it and have an answer for that. But I mean, there's so many to name, like, because I don't know if I could pick just one.
Top 5?
Top 5. Okay, let's try and do a top 5. And see, there's so many, and they're all good for different reasons.
Yeah, this is probably...
Headley is always good because they're wild, crazy, fun, and I just love those guys. Like, we're like, you know what I mean? Like, we're friends now, right? So like, it's like, you know, like, it's, you know what I mean? You can hang out with them, talk with them, and it's just, everything goes easily there. P. Diddy was great.
Oh, okay.
P. Diddy was awesome because he was just like, he gave so much. He didn't care what he said or what he did in the interview. He was like, man, he's like, I'm sick of watching boring interviews. People need to like do something, say something. You know what I mean? Like, be interesting in their interviews. So like, and he was, and it was great. And it also happened at his house in LA.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it wasn't even supposed to happen there, and it's just like a long chain of events that ended up him calling us and being like, come to my house and do the interview, and we were like, okay. So that was pretty cool. I don't know, what else? See, all the big names are always good, right? Just because they're big names, you're excited about it. Like, I interviewed Melanie C from the Spice Girls. She was, and she was really good, and really friendly, really like down to earth. And she's like multi-millionaire.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But she's like so down to earth and so nice. And then even like Kesha and Katy Perry and stuff, they're great. Justin Bieber, Jonas Brothers, those are also big ones too. You know what I mean? They're exciting because of that reason, but I don't know, like, it's hard to pick like a favorite or like a best one. So you said top 5, and I swear I've named like 16 already. It's
cool, top 16, it's all good. Was there anyone who you were like really nervous to interview? Like,
Yeah.
or do you get nervous in general when you?
Not really anymore.
No.
I mean, like, you just have to kind of not care. And it sounds really bad, right? Because everyone says, like, you should care about what your job and what you're doing. But I find that, like, my way of getting over the nervousness is, like, just don't care. Like, what does it matter? You know what I mean? Like, it's just an interview. It's just, like, you know, and people say, like, you know, like, me and one of the floor directors call me and be like, it's just live TV, whatever. It's just TV, you know what I mean? And, like, most people are like, yeah, exactly, it's TV. But, like, we're kind of thinking of it in the way it's like, it happens, it's over, you know what I mean? And tomorrow, no one's gonna really, it's not gonna matter. The mess up, you know what I mean? The script's not gonna matter. And so, just thinking in that mindset keeps you more calm. And when you're calm, you don't screw up. Oh yeah, sometimes you do. Okay, sometimes you do. But like when your nerves are freaking like going crazy, like you're gonna stumble on your words, you're gonna mess up your questions. You seem all frantic and nervous. So just relax. It's just, you know, just don't care, and then eventually it's like, oh, okay, and now you're having fun doing it. So
okay,
it's my method.
Do you have a favorite moment at Much?
Oh man,
I guess there's a lot too. But
there's a lot. I'll just name off some of the ridiculous things that I did that I thought was a lot of fun, and I really, like, it's a cool memory for me. The Deeganator, I did that thing in Orlando. I dressed up as, like, a really weird wrestler, and I got to wrestle alligators, go on a swamp ride, and I also got to interview professional wrestlers while wearing that goofy outfit. And one of them hit me. That's actually the backdrop of my Twitter.
oh.
Yeah. I know, some people think that they're like, Tim, why are you making that face as a dude's feeling your chest? It's like, no. He was hitting me and I was like in fear.
So it makes sense now.
Yeah. And then, okay, so that was a cool one. The Deeganator. Dressing up as, I wasn't even dressed up, being painted like a robot, silver like a robot. That was fun. I was completely silver with, I think, like yellow shorts on or something. Oh. And I went out on the street and I started like doing the give me money.
Like those performers, right?
Exactly. That was fun. I got to go to Thailand. It was amazing. Got to go to Spain. A lot of the stuff, like when I would interview people, I would also get to try a lot of the stuff that they're doing.
Oh, okay.
Or even like getting hurt, as much as it sucked, you look back on it now and you're like, yeah, you know what? Getting hurt made that interview, you know? It's like some people would go and they, for example, I interviewed Toronto Rock, like the lacrosse team, right?
Oh, okay.
I interviewed one of the guys there, and most people just stay on there and interview him, right? And I was asking him about, like, you know, checking and stuff and what you get penalties for and everything, and you pretty much can't get a penalty in that sport. It's like, it's more gruesome than hockey. And anyway, so I asked the guy to check me, and he cross-checked me across, like, my chest. And just like, it felt like I got hit by a truck, and like, you know what I mean? But that's what made the interview, you know? So stuff like that. But I can't, the MMVAs is always a great memory.
Okay, cool.
Every year it was just unbelievable. Like the crowd, the people, like, you know what I mean? The crowd and the people, I guess that's two of the same thing. So, like, like the crowd, the lights, the music, just like the energy in the air. Like the MMVAs is always pretty cool that way. And then there's also just behind the scenes memories too, like hanging it with the crew, hanging it with, like, you know, everyone that works there, and having some fun, goofing off. Like, that's always good memories too. Yeah. So I don't know if that was really an answer or not. I just kind of rambled for a while.
It's cool. Okay.